Artos is lying. He can't cause time travel. Yeah, I can.
That's our 2% of our viewers that don't understand sarcasm and stuff. They're in a constant state of like, how do these guys get away with lying all the time? I don't understand. So we're going into game number 2 right now, and I need to just get confirmation that they're ready. Go ahead and talk for me, Artosis.
Okay.
Go.
Well, once upon a time, 2 great friends, Ret and EGIdra, played a ZVZ at MLG, and EGIdra won the first game.
That's a
Will
great
he win
story.
the second game?
To be continued.
Yeah.
And with that, I am actually going to hit the start the game button with my
start the
magic
game button.
finger that has the Band-Aid that protects my finger from hitting that too hard. I got a cut earlier. You're wondering what that is. And, all right, the game is loading, so we're going to throw that up on screen for you guys. Game number 2, this could be pretty short. I mean, if Ret does something like that again and fails, could be pretty bad. All right, over here in the bottom center, we have EGIdra. He already won that first game with good defense and good decision-making. Over here in the left, very close positions, by the way, we have LiquidTeam from the site teamliquid.net. Great site, great players. And, you know, Ret, I think we're probably going to see anything but the same strategy from that previous game.
Yeah, no, he's not going to do that again. You know, they're in close positions by air, so that changes the matchup a ton. When those overlords see each other, then we are definitely going to end up seeing expansion builds.
It looks like we're moving in here. We're about to see the Overlord. High five. All right. Now, going on into this game, EGIdra, I want to know when he's going to make the pool. Same with Ret, or if he even do make the pool. It's going to be an interesting series. I really hope Ret wins this, though, because I want to see these two guys go on further and see what the results are going to look like. I think, you know, in this case, we could see a long game. Maybe see what each other are doing early on and stuff like that.
You know, when you're close spots on a map like this, like Metalopolis, you are going to actually just see them flip their Overlord over there and go hatchery first. That's just the way it is. It is just like Starcraft 1 ZVZ in the way that, hey, you know what, if I can see what you're doing, at least until you have a queen, then I can get an extra drone. I can get 2 extra drones. So you kind of have to go for that hatchery first. Now, Ret is already doing that, as we see right there, and EGIdra follows him up just moments later with his own. And now they're both going to make a few drones, and we're going to have to see who's going to budge. This is a game of drone chicken tasteless. Who is going to stop making drones and make a spawning pool first?
Yeah, I know exactly. I mean, that's you know, the big important factor here is because all Zerg units, with the exception of the Queen, basically come from the same source. You know, they come from the larva that, you know, if you're making drones, you're not making attacking units. Now, both these players are very macro-oriented. So we may see droning going on for quite a while here.
Well, we do have the pools going up. EGIdra's just seconds quicker than Ret's. Looks like he lost the game of drone chicken tasteless, and that's the thing. Against Ret, you're basically always going to lose that. Except, well, I guess he did rush the game before. But, you know.
No, I know what you're talking about. We've seen these guys play a lot, you know, in person, and of course, you know, when we commentate their games. But yeah, Ret definitely the guy that normally that's going to occur with.
All right, so it looks like Ret is going to get up on drones just slightly. He is up at 18 drones to 17. And EGIdra instantly is making 6 Zerglings and 2 Queens.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So it looks like he's actually just going to go some Speedlings. Those 6 Zerglings are going to be able to go over and do a little bit of harassment, but that's going to be 3 less drones. So he's going to either have to force a bunch of Zerglings or kill a drone or 2. You know, either way, he's got to make up for not having those extra drones. That is what ZVZ is all about, Tasteless.
Here come the 6 Zerglings moving out. Now, I don't believe he's going to do a full-on attack, although he could if he deems it necessary here. The Queens will pop out just in time.
And here a Queen comes. Ret is making a Roach Warren, and now he's having to use some drones to fight. And as the Lings pop out, looks like these Lings of EGIdra not really going to do very much, but looks like they may in fact scout the main base, and that's really, really important. He's going to see, oh, Roach Warren, okay, you're going to be playing a pretty standard style. EGIdra, in the meantime, has started a Baneling Nest, but now he's probably going to want to cancel it. If he wants to go Ling Baneling, that's actually going to be a little bit surprising to me. He prefers Roach Wars, as he is a strong macro player.
Well, we'll see. The Baneling Nest is continuing to morph here, and I guess thus far he's decided he's not going to go ahead and make that. I think he might be afraid of a counterattack here with the number of lings he saw here from Ret. And perhaps he can make 1 or 2 banelings to ensure that he's not going to die to that. Evolution Chamber coming up here for Ret. Right now, I got to say, I like the way this is going for Ret thus far.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tasteless, a lot of Zerglings fighting in the center, but also EGIdra right now making a bunch more Zerglings. In the meantime, Ret is making a ton more drones and a spine crawler. So it looks like EGIdra's aggression right here might actually pay off. I don't see any roaches quite yet. And if he morphs just a few banelings without any roaches there, he is going to have a vastly superior army.
You know, this is EGIdra's just beyond superior game sense here. Because I was on the same page as you, I would have canceled the baneling nest, but apparently he sees that, in fact, perhaps Ret even using that somewhat as a deterrent.
And we do have 2 banelings come down, but only 2. He might just be going for drones with these. And here he goes, Tasteless. Oh, actually, no, that was does not really get anything.
Pretty botched attack there.
Yeah, that was a pretty useless couple banelings. Kills 1 drone off. And right now...
Oh! Spotted, denied, and canceled.
Nice move there by Ret.
Yeah, very
Ret
nice.
is down by 5 drones, though, because he did go ahead and purchase a lot of roaches. And when you purchase roaches, Tasteless, that takes up so many minerals, both in overlords and in the actual cost of the roach. So 38 drones for EGIdra, 33 for Ret. Similar amounts of Zerglings, but Ret does have a few roaches.
You know, it's interesting to see both these guys with somewhat failed, drone assassinations. Trying to get the banelings in there. Another skirmish going on over here.
And EGIdra's going to get the upper hand of this, it looks like. Ret realizes, runs away, gets back to his roaches, but 10 roaches being made for EGIdra. EGIdra cannot be attacked right now. And this is actually about to turn into a pretty interesting game. EGIdra is still up 5 drones, but
Plus
against
1.
a spine crawler and those roaches, he can't really attack. So he's going to have to decide, okay, do I go for more tech? Do I go for upgrades? Do I try another hatch? We'll see.
Well, also important to note is if this attack does occur up here, EGIdra does not have +1, Ret does. But however, EGIdra going for the macro approach, he is going to have an additional expansion. And it's a lot of this is going to be about positioning. Who's got the better concave? Who's got the better control?
You know, I like how EGIdra's playing this. He has a little bit better economy. His opponent, Ret, he has a good defensive position because of that spine crawler. You guys would be actually so surprised if you don't play ZVZ what a spine crawler actually does in Roach vs. Roach.
It's crazy.
It's like 4 roaches or something, man. It just does damage so fast.
It's got the range too.
Yeah, it does.
It can clean up any roach. At any distance where roaches sort of
even a 3/3 roach,
no matter what. All right, looks like with that +1 attack, he wants to see if he can do some damage to EGIdra. EGIdra making a spine crawler, it will just barely not get done in time.
And well, actually, if he
tries to regroup.
waits a second. Now EGIdra making a lot of roaches, a lot of lings, but Ret is making a ton of Zerglings to follow up with this. Thing is, EGIdra has a great concave right here, and look at that beautiful concave for him. Ret with a lot more roaches in the back, not firing, dancing around, and EGIdra's lings coming in from the back as well. It looks like EGIdra will have enough units to stop
this.
He
should have more than enough.
Yeah.
With more roaches going to be on the way here.
Lings single file running to their deaths. EGIdra with an amazing arc here, and it looks like Ret is going to be in even more trouble than we thought, Tasteless.
Yeah, I mean, even though it looks somewhat even right now, all he has to do is hold this attack off, and by then, and here he does, EGIdra now has an additional base, as you could see here.
Yes.
And all Ret has was a strong timing attack, which was good.
Yeah, no, he almost had enough. He almost did. You saw EGIdra pull the drones for just 1 second, but he's just too close to his reinforcements. And, well, the Ling's doing a ton of damage as the Banelings are trying to pop out. But EGIdra still, he's sitting right here next to his hatches. His units pop out and are there in like 2 seconds.
Lings run into the main, trying to get the queen over here to prevent a larva inject. Denied. Back here at the front, you can see he's had to retreat. Everything else is eliminated. Ret is trying to get an expansion up over here. I don't know if this is going to be too successful. We'll see.
No, I think it's just not. Ret is in a terrible spot. 67 supply to 89. And that is a huge difference in ZVZ, Tasteless.
Yep, not
8
just
more
for a
drones
mere matchup, but for ZVZ especially.
Yeah. That is ever so true.
And as you can see, this hatchery will be denied.
Not long for this world.
That may be the nail in the coffin. EGIdra already getting an additional queen. The hatchery is canceled. Goodbye.
Hatchery.
Yes. See you in hatchery hell.
Wasn't a bad hatchery, Tasteless. You always just assume that the hatchery is going to go to hell.
Well, I'm just assuming it's a badass hatchery. I've been watching enough Steven Seagal Artosis. Yeah. I know how to say banal, kind of not not tough, badass stuff. So, this expansion's done. He's getting gas. And what EGIdra's doing that's actually great is Lings do still have a role in the mid-game to the late game of Zerg versus Zerg. You don't always need to use them just to tank for roach damage. Right now, Ret can't attack. If Ret does, he sends the Lings in once again.
That's quite right. And you see he is patrolling that side of the map. Ret wanted to do some of his own Ling countering. Those Lings, they are being chased down by the Lings of EGIdra. EGIdra's bounty hunter Lings going to catch them pretty easily. Don't think that they'll do much damage right here. Right here. And it looks like EGIdra just adding some macro hatches, adding some tech as well. Ret, interestingly, going for an infestation pit, while EGIdra is actually going for a Hydra Den. Now, EGIdra with the Hydra Den is going to want to hit a timing attack. If a ton of infestors get out, then the Hydralisks are going to be out-teched. But with just a few Hydras in his army, he's going to have insane DPS and be able to do a lot of damage.
You can see EGIdra's trying to see if there's any hole right now in Ret's defense. EGIdra knows he's in the lead. He wants to see, can I do any more damage while I'm holding that lead? It doesn't look like it's going to happen as Ret's defensive positioning is pretty solid here.
It's quite true, and I think we're going to be seeing a creep highway, Tasteless.
Look at this. When you're in the lead as Zerg, you could spread out all the overlords, make them creep. Suddenly you're able to get to your opponent's base much quicker. This is a creep highway we're seeing being created right here. I gotta say, man, knowing this guy for years in Korea, you can really see how much he's improved.
Oh, absolutely, man. He has a bunch of Hydras about to pop out. He's at 181 supply against 134. Ret is in so much trouble. He is getting the Infestor Gland upgrade, but it is only like 60% done. He hasn't even started Infestors. So he is just going to be immensely behind. Look at this. The Hydras are coming out, and this is going to be a perfect timing attack. Ret will not be able to stop this.
Yeah, I do not believe he's going to be able to pull a rabbit out of his hat here. With the Hydras here and the roaches to tank the damage. Hydras, they basically have like machine guns. They fire so fast.
Yeah, they do, man. Yeah, they do.
Look at that.
Oh. So good.
It makes that sound like you're dragging your feet on carpet when they fire, but really, it's actually much scarier than that.
And here we go. EGIdra deciding, okay, I have to attack into here. Great concave there for Ret at first. Some of his drones, roaches rather, in the back. But those Hydras, man, are just doing way too much damage. And at this point, Ret has to be upset, man. 16 more roaches in production for EGIdra, 10 for Ret, and the Hydras should be able to finish this off.
Bungle growth, nice job here by Ret, but it's just not enough. And of course, all the overlords will be gunned down here as well. There's just too many Hydras. That's it. EGIdra's going to come through with a win here. He just ran over his opponent. Pretty straightforward, but I got to say, EGIdra is never failing to impress me. He has not lost a game yet.
No, he has not.
No, he has not.
He just keeps winning, Tasteless. And, that is why he is one of the best Zergs in the world. No question about that.
It's also because he was friends with us in Korea.
Well, that's most of it.
That's most of it, like maybe 95% being generous.
Something like that.
Something like that. But the other part is that he trained really hard. He worked hard. He deserves it. And, I'm really proud of him.
Kid's sick,
see
man.
This guy getting pretty far. So that does it for a little bit here. We're going to cut to commercial. Now, we know we had a sort of long commercial before. They had to replace a monitor, computer, I don't know, put the power crystals back in the...
Tasteless doesn't know magic,
I don't know magic, I'm sorry, but we had to get something fixed here, so we apologize for the delay. But look, we're going to be back in a little bit. So for Artosis and myself, this so far has been MLG. We'll see you again very soon.